What's up? What's happening? This is your commissioner back at it again for the Week 8 recap and Week 9 preview live from Reserve Township. Um, Wherever you may be, however you may be listening, we're live. We have the great LB and the great Joe Batting here, the two brothers, on the show this week. Going to give some great insight on the Week 9 matchups. So let's recap Week 8 real quick. High score, one and only Joe gets the high score and 165 points. Your team is on the come up, moving to
Absolutely.
moving to 4-4, three straight wins. You defeat your brother LB, 165 to 101, which overall this past week was pretty low scoring by everyone. There was only I think everyone knew you were going to win the high scoring at like midway through Sunday.
Yeah, I think it was pretty obvious, but I'm shocked to see somebody else pick themselves because eventually I was going to get it right because I pick myself every week.
Yeah,
So,
you and Paul picked you, so there's always a few that are picking you. Um, but yeah, you get the win. You're 4-4. LB, you fall to 5-3. Um, Myself versus Tyler, I win 111 to 99. I move to 5-3. That's two straight wins for me. Tyler falls to 4-4. Pretty good game. Came down to Monday night. I needed 6 from Darnell Williams. I got 17. Get the win there. In a very close game was Cam Bildhauer defeating Warren Smith, 111.9 to 110.2. Warren needed like 30. He needed 28 or 29 from Tyreek Hill Monday night, and he got 27. He fell 1 point short, 1.6 short. Almost came close there to pulling out a crazy comeback win. But Warren's on the 2-game losing streak now. He moves to 3-5, and Cam gets back on the winning track, and he is now 4-4. Uh, the biggest blow of the weekend goes to the 6-1 Country Roads take Mahomes. Kalos loses Derrick Henry, what looks like to be for the season.
It's the
It,
fantasy season for sure.
yeah. Paul Sham, though, capitalizes, and he wins 123 to 96. Paul is on a 2-game win streak. He moves to 4-4, and Nick Scalos moves to 6-2. Luckily for him, he built that lead up in the first 8 weeks. He can afford a couple losses, and maybe make some moves. Maybe he does something to fill the void of losing Henry for the year. But I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk about that later, us three. But he moves to 6. He falls to 6-2. Mike Germanero beats Jake May 113 to 96.
Would it be Germ?
Germ gets back on the winning ways. He gets to 3-5. Jake May, though, he was sitting at 4-2, looking pretty. He's now 4-4, loser of 2 in a row. He had a couple weeks here with a couple duds, I think, not getting 100 points. I could be wrong there. I don't know, but I want to say Jake's been under 100 now 2 weeks in a row. Let me look real quick. Week 7, Jake. No, 140. So I was completely off. But Jake May 4-4, and Mike Germ 3-5, and then the 2-5 Randy Sadowski team beats Matt Carter 134 to 101. Randy gets to 3-5, and Matt Carter falls 2 in a row to 3-5. He wanted me to say, hey, just so you guys remember, he was 2-6 last year and came back and won it all. So he is not worried yet. That was it for week 8. Standing wise, we have.
I got him back here if you want me to run through real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. You run through that. I'm going to send a text in the group me about questions for this week. So go ahead.
Yeah, so you can't read it on Zoom, so it's backwards. But as it stands right now, number 1 seed is Scalos. Number 2 is Justin from points. Number 3 is me. Number 4 is Joey. Number 5 is Cam. 6 is Tyler. Jake's at 7. Paul squeaks in at the last spot with 8. That leaves Warren, Matt, Germ, and Randy, the last 4 looking in. But I think you're going to see quite a few more changes before we get to playoff time with these guys. Everyone is basically bunched together. And points are the determining factor. Me and you are both 5-3. You got more points. Nick's 6-2, so he's number one. And then Jake, Paul, Joey, Cam, Tyler are all 4-4. And then there it is with Jeremy and Randy. So Tyler and Cam are right on the edge. I just need a few more points. Right now, Cam has 1,060. Joey has 1,064. So 4 points gets you fourth place right now. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's to say the least.
Who would be the 4 teams that are out?
Right now, it's Warren, Matt, German, Randy.
Yeah, crazy.
Warren and Matt are 3-5. They're all 3-5, so they're a win away. So it's not by no means anybody should be selling as of right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, my phone just blew up though with like 4 questions. So
Well, I mean, you got a lot going on right now. The NFL is crazy. I don't know if you listen to McAfee, but he was saying Wednesday in the middle of the season is a boring day. All of a sudden, you got Derrick Henry's done. Aaron Rodgers is on COVID. Is Devontae Adams going to be back in time? Kyler Murray's hurt. Hopkins is hurt. Odell Beckham might be getting paid to not play football. Von Miller went to one of the best linebackers, went to one of the best defenses. So I'm really excited to see how that works out. There's a lot that happened this week.
yeah.
And then you got Henry Ruggs.
Henry
Car
Ruggs,
accident.
which is going to affect David Carr, I think. And then above all, Allen Robinson is still a Bear. So my trade looks fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that guy, man, he stinks.
Terrible. It's Fields. They don't throw to him. I think he's good. I just don't think he fits in the game plan. But
So moving on though, do you guys want to do questions now? What I got, or do you want to break down the week?
I think we started. I think we already kind of started getting into it. I say we just go with the questions now. We got a lot.
Yeah, then I'm trying to log on to the site on my kid's PlayStation, so it gives me a minute so I can actually see who has it.
Perfect. The first question comes from no one other than Nick Scalos. He asked, "What are our thoughts? Can he stay afloat without Henry and the continued struggles of Mahomes?" I'll answer that as not quickly as I can, but save you guys some time. No, I don't think he can. I don't love his wideouts. I think the only reliable one is Hollywood or Godwin. Godwin and Brown is not bad. But Josh Jacobs, I don't know. He's not an RB1. I mean, Henry, you're losing 25 points a week.
Easy 25. That's on the light side.
He's averaging 25 a week.
It used to be Kelsey was the positional advantage. If you had Kelsey, he put up wide receiver numbers in a tight end spot, so you actually got to start 3 wide receivers, maybe 4 if you put a flex in. That's not the case this year. Kelsey is very average. Derrick Henry was outscoring quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So you had an advantage to have a quarterback in at running back, and now you lost that, and no one else is going to – you're not going to find a guy. Even Kamara, Cook, Zeke, they're good. But Henry was on a whole nother level, and I don't know that you replace that. I don't think Nick's done. Josh Jacobs is fine. It's the Boston Scott situation because Miles Sanders will be back. Gainwell will get play. His receivers, I think, are okay. I just don't. That second running back is going to be an issue for him.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a tough situation for Scalos. But Mahomes as well. I mean, I think it's 6 straight games now he's thrown a pick.
I don't. They had their bye last week, didn't they?
Mahomes? That I don't know.
No, they have it week 12. It's too far away. I was just going to say, man, once they have their bye is close, I bet you they come out of the bye and they're the old Chiefs.
Would you look now, this isn't a question he asked, but would you guys consider if you're in his position with the lack of, no Henry, do you move Mahomes and maybe try to get a 2-for-1 or something like that? Or
now's all the time to move the guy because he's doing terrible. It's not a good time to move him.
I still think his name would get a lot of. I think he could generate a lot of offers though for Scalos still. I don't know, but would someone take not a risk on Mahomes? I don't know. I don't know. I would consider moving Mahomes if I was Nick. Try to get a 2-for-1 or something to just really get the team some life again because I just think there's not a lot of spark on his team right now.
He scored 41 points 4 weeks ago, 22-26. He scored 16 this week, which isn't great. He should have crushed the Giants, but that's that Monday night craziness. The primetime games are absolutely ridiculous. I think every primetime game, every underdog this year has covered. So it's something weird. Thursday, Sunday night, and Monday. If for some reason all the underdogs have been the games I've noticed they've been covering. Giants covered this week. They shouldn't have. I don't think you panic. I think you want Aaron Rodgers playing this week, so Patrick Mahomes has to throw.
Yeah.
But then in week 11, so he has Green Bay, then Vegas, then week 11 he's playing Dallas. Dak should be back and healthy and good. I think by week 11 he's right back to where he was. But the problem with that is you have a bye week 12, so can you wait that long? If I don't know, I mean, you're not going to get you're going to trade Mahomes for a stud running back. I don't know who you can get for him.
Yeah, there's not many, but I think he could get something maybe.
Get
I don't know.
something.
Or
I don't
do
know if it's worth it.
you ride the wave and hope that Mahomes can carry you into the playoffs and win a game or two.
When you drop that early, you kind of have to.
Right. Jake, let's move on though. Jake May asks, it seems as though every wide receiver team defied trades away, they blow up. Example, Debo, Robert Woods, Michael Pittman Jr. What does this say about the locker room culture in Team Defied? Seems to be pretty toxic. He says, LOL, watch Devontae Smith be a top 12 rest of the season after I just traded him today.
So I like Devontae Smith.
I wanted to trade. I mean, I don't know how I felt about Devontae Smith. I hate the offense there. I don't know what. It's not a passing offense and it's not a running offense. I don't know what the hell it is. So
quarterback running offense. They're weird. That's a weird team and they're a weird coach.
I reached out to Skalos. I kind of wanted to get Hollywood off him, but he said he didn't really want to move him. But he moved Julio. I moved Devontae Smith for Julio, hoping that maybe the Titans can become a heavy pass team. Hopefully he can come get healthy and be, a little spark as a flex position for me. I don't need him to be an wide out 1 or 2. I have McLaurin and Keenan Allen. If he can be a nice viable flex option for me, I think it'd be great. But I just couldn't. The ups and downs of Devontae Smith are just he's not.
He's hampered by his quarterback.
Yeah.
Not being a quarterback.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
He's had 2 19-point weeks. He's followed those up with a 3, a 5, a 2. The inconsistency is a real issue. And for you,
yeah,
I don't really see the receivers an issue for you. Keenan Allen's subpar, but it looks like Mike Williams came back to earth. Allen should be doing better now. You have McLaurin. I think it's okay. I don't love Julio, but I can understand. I think Julio has more upside than Devontae Smith now. So I think it's a pretty good trade.
Yeah, I'd like it, but based on what Jake said about Debo, Robert Woods, and Pittman, I traded Debo and Michael Pittman, and they've both become insane,
Yeah,
crazy good. But I had so much depth at the wide receiver position. I wanted to move one of them. I wish I would have kept on to Michael Pittman Jr. I think he'd be a great flex option for me, but Robert Woods is starting to get really involved in the offense again. But Cooper Kupp's definitely got to have. But, yeah, that's a funny question, Jake, and I think about that often.
Is there somebody on this podcast that every time Cooper Kupp gets mentioned, he gets told somebody says how much they don't like him and how he's not going to sustain it?
I mean, at the beginning, I think it was probably me.
It absolutely was you, and it's every week. It's not the beginning. It's been week 1 through what are we on, 9? So week 1 through 8, you have said, I still don't like Cooper Kupp when the dude just keeps putting numbers up.
I've always liked him. I've said, though, that I just don't see how he can continue it, and he has been. I mean, it's just it is something. I think he had, one bad week?
I think his bad week was still like 15 points or 16 points. He hasn't had
11
really
points.
a bad week. I don't have the numbers in front of me, Mike. What was his low week?
11 points, but he also has 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns in 9 games. It ain't going to stay up. Especially now with the Rams having a better defense. I think that Von Miller trade, you should hate that trade. Their defense was decent, but not great, so they had to keep scoring. Now they don't. Now they're going to get a ton of sacks, and Von Miller's a strip sack guy. Um, I think the worst thing that could have happened for you is Von Miller went to the Rams.
I still think Cooper Cup's a 15-point a week guy.
Oh, absolutely. But right now he's a 37, 36, 30, 24.
He's averaging 27 a week, and I think that comes back to I think it's got to come down. There's no way in hell he can continue to score this many touchdowns. I mean, it's just not. If he does it, it's the greatest season ever by a wideout.
Makes Randy Moss a pedestrian.
Yeah. But
I mean, it's only 17 TDs. It's not that much.
it's just so many.
I know. I understand that.
I didn't think Jamar Chase could maintain it either. It's the season of wide receiver touchdowns. I don't understand how defenses don't stop it. You know where the ball's going. I can't understand why you don't try to.
Let's move on though with the next question from Tyler. Tyler asks, fantasy owners, to me, Mikey, and Joe, do you think Derrick Henry was getting the ball too much, and this caused him to get hurt? Yeah, I mean,
no, and I'll tell you why. It was a foot. It was a foot break. If he had a shoulder injury, a concussion, like a lower back, I would have thought that was his workload. But the fact that it was a bone break in his foot, I don't think it was because of his touches. I still don't feel that he could have maintained those kind of touches. I feel the same way about Najee, though. I think at some point, Najee Harris gets hit 35 times a game. He's a lot younger, still smaller, but I didn't love Henry this year because of his huge workload and what he got, how many times he gets hit. And he gets hit violently. His tackles, it ain't someone just riding him down. It's people sticking him and hitting him, and someone's holding him up, and two other guys are taking his legs out. He gets punished, but he's something special. I think once he retires, you're going to really remember how great of a running back he was and how different he was in today's game.
Yeah. But that's all the questions. Let's get on to the week 9 preview. What game you guys want to start with?
I have mine and Randy's up.
You and Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's break it down here. Randy's team is I think his team's getting kind of better. I really do. Dak's getting back, I believe, this week. Amari Cooper's been good. Debo's been unbelievable. Michael Pittman Jr. has been great. He has some depth too on his team. Edmonds and Patterson. I mean, Edmonds 17th ranked, 8th ranked running back. So I mean, they're doing enough. He has a lot of question marks next to his guys this week. Dak, Edmonds, Cooper, Debo. So a lot of question marks there for Randy. For you, Nick Chubb is fully back, so that's great for you. Not many question marks. AB's question mark. I saw him on Instagram in a boot.
He's out. He's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long, though. But he's in a walking boot, so I wouldn't expect him. But I like the Michael Carter. I think he's going to continue to get a bigger role on that team for the Jets for you. So I like that. Chubb, Gordon's been good. I thought maybe Gordon might get traded yesterday, but he didn't. Don't love your wideouts, though. I think that could be a problem down the road. But I think as Jalen Hurts and Chubb and Kelsey go, you go. I think you need those three every week to be good to win games. And so far, you're sitting at 5-3. And I think I like you this week as well.
Yeah, I don't love my chances this week, and it's funny because if you take Edmonds out and put in Taylor, you might be looking at Randy having the best team in the league. His receivers are stacked. Cooper's great. Samuel's great. Pittman's great. He got one of the best receivers as a flex option at this point. Number 11 receiver. Dak, if Dak's healthy, Dak's good. Patterson, just, without Ridley, it's going to go to Patterson and Pitts, I hope. I don't know what
Yeah.
happens there, but I don't. I love Kadarius Toney, but that Giants team is a mess. Injury. If Barkley comes back, I think Tony's a lot better. But now Barkley's on COVID, so he's not playing this week. I don't think.
No,
Tim
next week.
I would assume Judy gets right back into it. He didn't play. I think he had 4 catches last week, but I'm assuming Patrick he'll start fading out. Kelsey's my biggest issue. He's my first round pick, and he's averaging 15 points. He started out 25 and 23, and he got 4 last week against the Giants. So I'm actually going to take Randy in this one, and unless Dak doesn't play, it's going to be hard to match his firepower at receiver.
I'm going to agree. I would definitely take Randy this week. And the other thing that makes me concerned is that Dak don't play who he's going to pick up. But his receiving core is so strong, and
I thought Randy
Patterson
was carrying like 5 pure. He was carrying Winston. He's hurt now.
Yeah,
he's got 2 hurt quarterbacks on his roster.
Huh.
So he does not have a starting quarterback if Dak doesn't play. So he's going to be hitting the waiver wire, and who's he going to get? I mean, I know Derek Carr's out there. Like my brother said, how much is losing that deep threat in Henry Ruggs going to
for sure.
triple him? Because without Waller, he's still hurt.
Raiders are human beings. They lost their coach 2 weeks ago. They lost their receiver this week. They got to start weighing on a team.
Yeah, I agree with you there for sure.
So I'm still outside of that. I'm still going to take Randy because his receiving core can easily carry him to a win.
I was gonna take LB, but you guys made it pretty convincing about Randy. I'm gonna stick with LB though. I think Chubb has a big week at Cincy. I think Cleveland's pissed off about the last few weeks. I think they're going to get back to really pounding the ball. I expect 2 touchdowns from Chubb and a big game from him. And, maybe you can have a big game from Kelsey or Michael Carter Thursday night or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, I think Randy wins, but I'm going to take you.
Appreciate the
sympathy,
confidence,
the sympathy pick. The pity pick.
Let's move on. What's the next one, LB?
I got Stunners and Joey. I got Warren and Joe.
Warren and Joe. Go ahead, take out one. Start that one off.
All right. Well, I'm concerned with Kyler, man. He's injured. This happened last year too. He was great, and then his shoulder got banged up, and he kind of got timid, and he never really rebounded at the end of the year. I know that I had him. Kyler, now he got a little bit of an injury. I think Burrow outduels him. Mike Davis is an absolute joke. Cordero Patterson has taken over that role exclusively. I don't even know that Davis gets carries anymore. He just he had 9 attempts. He got 11 points this week. He got 1 point last week. Zach Moss is okay. I guess anyone against Jacksonville will be a good one. Tyreek Hill, that again hinges on Mahomes, even though Tyreek Hill gets about 15 targets a game, which jacks me off because he should be throwing to Kelsey more. Chase is a stud. Henry's fine. CeeDee Lamb is really good as well. Looking at his bench, Ruggs, Dawson Knox, no one special on the bench. Gibson on the bench. Hopefully that bye week will help Gibson out. He can get Mike Davis out of there. The other side, Burrow, I think, is poised to have a good season, maintain his season. I still don't know if McCaffrey's playing this week. He's eligible to come off the IR. That doesn't mean he's playing.
Right.
Mixon is.
I put him in because they projected him to play right now. It's not like
Mixon is good, but with the Mixon Burrow stack, I'm assuming Myles Garrett's going to eat up one of them too. Cup versus Tennessee. Cup will be fine. That Deontay Johnson versus Chicago. I don't know. Chicago's not a good team. But the way Fields played last week, this might be the game. The Steelers are riding high from beating Cleveland and this and that, and this might be their letdown game. So I want to be surprised if Chicago actually comes in and beats the Steelers. I'm trying to look. Deontay's still getting 15 points. He's right around that 15 zone, but he hasn't scored in a couple weeks. And I think Ben looks worse than he has. His arm looks like it's getting even weaker, and I'm assuming with the cold weather and just the arm, just the games, every game, it's going to take more and more out of him. Hopefully, they can get Deontay on some slants and get him some points. Arnold's fine, and AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown's gonna take over for the Derrick Henry situation. So I'm actually gonna take Joey in this one. I don't think it's a blowout, but if McCaffrey plays and is decent, I guess you have Hubbard still.
Yes, I have both handcuffs for both of my running backs.
Yeah, so you're gonna win the game. I don't. It's just if it's a bunch, if McCaffrey plays good, or if it's a few.
Yeah, for me, Warren's running backs really turned me off on his team. I think if he could get one to be decent, he's also missing Gibson this week, who's only averaging 12 a week. I thought he'd be pushing 20 a week kind of guy. I thought he'd be really good this year.
Got a broken leg. I wanted Gibson bad. I wanted Gibson and Taylor and Aaron Jones. So
he's been somewhat disappointing. I would say for where he was drafted. Kyler Murray's banged up. San Fran's gonna, they're gonna be ready for that. They're gonna want to hit him. But the only upside of Warren's team is Hill, Chase, and Lamb. They could all go for 30. I mean, they could easily all go for 30 in a game. They're all big play guys. I mean, Hill's averaging 22 a week. Jamar Chase is averaging 19 a week, and CD's averaging 18 a week. I mean, it's a lot of points there from the wideouts. But Joe, I think you just have too much. If Jamar Chase has a big game, 2 touchdowns, you're getting the points for throwing it to him. So that cancels out a little bit there. And if McCaffrey plays or if he doesn't, I still like you there. Your running backs are way better than his. Cooper Kupp matches or is better than Tyreek Hill. Deontay, I would still take Chase over him. The tight end's a toss-up. I think A.J. Brown is going to have a continued bigger role with Henry going down. But CD and A.J. Brown's a great flex option. I think this one can be close. Something to keep an eye on if McCaffrey does give it a go and maybe only is limited or, not tweak something, but is it right halfway through the game it comes out. I don't know, but I'm taking you I think it's a close game though.
I'm definitely taking myself. I mean, I personally feel like the Joe Burrow trade could be like the trade that got my team out of the dumps because I was struggling with quarterback. Tannehill was garbage for the first 4 weeks. And then I had Carr for a while, and he stabilized my quarterback position. Like, I can guarantee I'm going to probably get 20 out of my quarterback every week now. I have the
I don't agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Myles Garrett, off week. What's his name from Vegas? Max Williams. Watt.
Max
Bosa,
Crosby.
Max Crosby. So Garrett off, Crosby, Watt, Bosa. Week 15, if he's still alive, you'll be okay. He has some vicious pass rushers.
I still think Burrow's very good.
I think will be alive. He'll be
one
fine.
thing I do want to say though is, don't you and Paul have a bet on? Didn't Paul say Tannehill would finish higher than Rodgers?
I believe that too. I don't remember. I know I bet him that Tannehill would have less points. I don't remember who it was.
It was I believe it was Rodgers. He said, "There's no way Rodgers do this." Blah 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 blah. Tannehill does.
Yeah, I'm definitely. The only thing I don't remember is how much it was. Is my problem. So they could be $5, could be 50. I don't remember.
Paul's not short on takes. He always has a take about everybody. He always has something to say. Whether it's right or wrong, it remains to be seen, but he always has an opinion about every player.
So we'll all 3 of us take Joe. Let's move on. What's the next one, LB?
I got Paul and Cam.
Let's take a look at it. Hut Lockett versus Cam.
Hut Lockett versus the other Herbert's heroes.
Yeah. Joe, you looking at this? You want to take
it? Yeah, I got it up.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You start this one off.
Oh. right now, I'm looking at Paul has Adams, who knows if he's going to be back. We got Lamar, which he's playing against Minnesota. So he should have a good matchup. Booker, Vegas got a really good defense. I mean, especially with their front four is really good. Like you were talking about, Max Crosby's a great defensive end, so he'll be wreaking havoc. Robert Woods, he's a secondary. He picks up Cooper Kupp scraps, so I don't even pay attention to him. Chase Claypool is all right, but then you got Justin Jefferson and Mike Williams, Josh. Paul doesn't have a prayer. I'm taking Hot Locker by landslide. He's got better at every position going. Dalvin Cook, Booker, not comparable. Henderson may not get a ton of yards, but he gets touchdowns every single week.
Yeah,
And he has Mark Ingram playing, so
I love Cam's team. I think he's going to really pop off here soon. I think Landry's going to get a bigger role. He got Lockett on a bye. I mean, just listen to his team right now. Josh Allen,
stud.
third-ranked quarterback. Dalvin Cook, I know he's ranked 29, but he's been banged up, missing games. He's going to get
He's
going.
absolutely going to get better
I
going
think
down.
he blows up this week, and I think he's Dalvin Cook that for the rest of the way up.
Darrell Henderson, 11th ranked running back. Justin Jefferson is averaging 16 a week. Mike Williams is still averaging 17 a week, even though he's dropped off. Mark Andrews is a top 2 tight end. Jarvis Landry's going to get more involved as he continues to get back into the lineup. And then on the bench, he has Tyler Lockett on a bye week. I think he has one of the best lineups in the league. You could take out any one of his you could take out Mike Williams this week and throw in Lockett. I mean, he has a lot of options. His team is very good. For Paul's team, we were cutting grass the other day, and I told him, I said, these next 2 weeks are big for him. He's losing DeAndre Swift this week, or I said last week was a huge win for him to pull that one out. Because if he lost that one, I think he loses his next 2. He doesn't have Swift this week, and the next week he doesn't have Booker or Barkley, whatever one. Does Kittle get back healthy soon? I don't know. I'm taking Cam this week because I think Cam's going to really pull out some wins here and just start to really run the table. I think Cam is going to, next few weeks, really pull out to get maybe the first overall seed.
Yeah, I'm agree. I take Cam. Maybe Lamar Jackson off a bye week beats Allen just because Allen's playing Jacksonville and they might run it in the second half. I think Booker's okay until Barkley gets back.
Right.
Adams, I would think, would have beat Justin Jefferson or Mike Williams with
Rodgers.
Right.
With Rodgers, but now that he's not there, I don't know if Jordan Love's going to throw to Adams. I don't know if Adams is. Unfortunately, Paul is scratching and clawing his way through the season. He's picking up a win here, a win there, but I just don't. I don't see him getting one this week. I'm sure there'll be a rebuttal text shortly after this posts, but I just don't see where the advantage is. Even if Lamar has a great game,
well, dude,
go outscore Josh
Allen. He is a
second.
His second running back is a guy that's a backup.
Dude, Mark Ingram. You didn't hear about Mark Ingram?
He's the backup.
Yeah, he's a backup
without a quarterback now.
Dude, he's playing Atlanta. He's going to at least score 2 touchdowns this week.
Yeah, so the only opportunity he has is Lamar and Adams and perhaps
Chase,
Goddard, and maybe Chase. But those guys aren't going to outscore. I don't see a path.
I think Cam's team's just too good.
He's a stacked team. He's one of the better teams in the league. I would agree with that.
And he got some good matchups. Allen against Jacksonville. Dalvin Cook should be able to run on Baltimore.
The only thing that might save Paul is Justin Jefferson's going to get locked up with Humphreys, so he may not have a great game going against Baltimore.
But then if he does, then Dalvin Cook gets a lot more. One way or the other, he's going to get 50 points out of that game. I think might be 50 and 10.
Out of 2 of them, out of both of them, yeah, I would agree.
Cam is my pick for high scoring this week. I'm taking Cam to be the high scorer. So let's, Joe, do you take yourself again?
I'm sticking to it. I'm taking myself to be the high scorer again.
And LB, you didn't say yours yet, so I will wait.
No, I'm going through that right now.
Let's do the next game. Let's do me versus Mike Germ. Good, LB. You take mine and Germs.
Get back there. I think I'm also taking Cam for high score.
Taking Cam.
Yeah, you and Germ. Okay, so Stafford and Tua. It's going to. Oh, I'm not even looking. You're going to win. I forgot it was Germ. Unfortunately, his team is.
Too much Dolphins.
There's a lot going on there.
Too many Dolphins.
So Stafford's going to outduel Tua. Zeke's better than Gaskin. Harris is better than Herbert. Allen is better than Judy. Although I do like Judy. I think he's going to end up being a really good receiver. I don't know who your number 2 is. You trade him away. Who is that now? Is that DiCholio?
It's going to be Julio.
So maybe I don't think either. Julio and Myers, I'll even give that a tie. Pitts and Conklin. I hope it's Pitts. I invested so much in him in my other league. I hope Pitts gets back. I think that happened last week was Ridley kind of came up before the game and said, I'm not playing, and they had no chance to game plan around that.
Yeah.
With a week, knowing you don't have Ridley, look what happened in London. Pitts blew up. So hopefully it works that way. Damian Williams. Kamara's going to – okay, so there you go. Kamara is his only hope in it's a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Metcalf's off. Ugh, man. Wilson.
John Koo gets a lot of points though. He's a good kicker.
Is that Eli? Okay, Eli Mitchell. Is that the running back from San Fran?
Yes, Elijah Mitchell. Yes.
Man,
he has Elijah Mitchell from San Fran.
He has a decent amount of running backs. I think. I don't know. You try to flip a running back and try to bolster that receiving core. He gets Russell Wilson back. You get Russell Wilson back, Eli Mitchell. You only have a couple more weeks with him. I think all the running backs are starting to come back there. DK Metcalf is in. The team isn't terrible. He had some bad luck, I think. I'm taking Justin though. I think Mike is just it's an uphill climb. But
I'm also taking myself. I think my team is just a little bit better. But anything can happen on a Sunday. I just think too many guys that are more consistent than his guys.
It's not even going to be close. It's going to be a landslide. You're going to win. So
I don't know if it's a landslide. I mean, Stafford should be good, but who knows with that new defense?
Touchdowns.
Well, who knows though? Maybe they don't stop throwing. And Zeke, I think Zeke's going to do. I think Zeke will be your highest scoring player this week.
Matthew Stafford.
See, I think the Tennessee's going to stick around. I think that game's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, I definitely think Tennessee. I definitely think Tennessee with no chance of a run game, and that revamped, killed the quarterback mentality they have in the Rams with Von Miller. Yeah, definitely. I think they'll probably upset them.
I mean, it's the NFL, dude. It's fixed as fuck.
I don't like.
But I mean, let's not knock. I mean, Tannehill can go out there and throw the ball 40 times.
And I think
he's not horrible.
He's not horrible. He's not a 40.
No,
you guys have no faith in Adrian Peterson. I mean, the guy is ageless.
He is
the Tom Brady of running backs. This dude's going to come in and get 300 yards his first game.
He's going to probably have 4 carries, if that.
And he's going to die. And he's going to end up with a broken bone and
be going to die. He's not the guy. It's going to be that backup, the receiving back.
I don't think this week Adrian Peterson will be the guy. It'll be the following week is my hope since I picked him up. But we'll see. I mean, he's gonna get the ball. I think he's not gonna be Derrick Henry, but I think he'll be the first and second down back there, and then they'll bring in someone else for third down. But we're all picking me there to win. Let's move on. We got 2 more games. Let's do Jake May versus Nick Scalos. This should be a good game. They're both missing the Buccaneers wideouts, Godwin and Evans, so that cancels each other out. Herbert at Philly versus Mahomes in Green Bay. I think it's pretty even. Eckler and Jacobs, I'll give it to Eckler. James Robinson, is he going to play? He did not practice today, so I don't know if he plays or not. But even if he plays, what the hell does Boston Scott do? Does D Hop play? I like him more than Sutton. I like Hollywood Brown more. I think Fryermuth is going to really shoot up on the tight end rankings. I think Ben's starting to find him a little bit more, and like a check down or 5 and out kind of thing.
Can't throw any farther down the field than that.
And Scalos, maybe his flex position this week is Devontae Smith. Not sure when that goes through. It should go through before Sunday. Yeah, it
Should go through earlier tomorrow. Or
It'll
early,
go through. Yeah, it goes through tomorrow afternoon.
sometime whenever the free agents go through.
Yeah. Stafford though held out of practice today with a sore back, so something.
Well, he's carrying the fucking team. It gets hard.
keep an
Has
eye out.
Stafford missed a game his career? I thought he only missed like 1 or 2.
No, I
games.
just saw that. I was just looking, but I'm taking Jake May. I think the downfall for Scalar starts this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think although as much as we talk about Mahomes slumping, Herbert put up 50 points.
Yeah, I know.
And then 13, and then a bye week, and then 17. So, Eckler, I like Eckler. Robinson, I think he's banged up. Diop's banged up. Beasley, I can't stand. He's having a really nice year.
You hate him because he's not vaxxed.
I think he's an asshole by not being. If you don't want to get vaxxed, that's fine. But you have a platform, don't use it.
Right.
But whatever. I think I'd rather put Bateman in. Either way, yeah, with Evans and Godwin being out, Ryan, Cobb, Henry on the bench.
I think if Robinson and D Hop are out this week, I think that opens the door for Scalos
Oh, definitely.
to win. So I mean, that's something to keep an eye on. I'm going to go ahead and say that those one out of the two will play, and that'll be enough.
So wait, so Scalos has Devontae Smith now.
He's going to have Smith instead of Julio.
So he has Boston Scott. So he has 2 pieces of the Philly offense, neither one being named Jalen Hurts. That's not a recipe for success.
You're taking May?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm tired of agreeing with all you guys, but I have to take Herbert's heroes. I can't get with all the Philly players. I think Austin Eckler is going to tear it up because they're going to blow Philly out in the first 2 quarters. That he's going to get so many carries in the second half. He's bound to get paid hurt. But like he said, I don't like Cole Beasley. You got a lot of concerns with Robinson, Hopkins. How hurt is Murray on top of how hurt is Hopkins? So that can limit it. I mean, I think it's going to be closer than you guys think. But
I agree.
I think it'll be a close game. I still have my faith in Herbert right now more than Patrick Mahomes. I never thought I would say that, but I have a lot more faith in
This is Mahomes get right game. He'll outdo Herbert.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Jair Alexander's coming back. I know on Pat yesterday, Aaron Rodgers said that they got good news about Alexander. So I haven't seen anything, but if he comes back, then you got to worry about him shutting down Tyreek.
No, I don't think you need to worry about that.
I don't know.
Hey, I wanted to ask you: has Mahomes started slumping ever since Josh Gordon got reinstated on the team?
He's high all the time. That's why Pat's high all the time.
I don't know how close the timeline is, but I think there's an overlap there. Something to look into. I'd cut him just like Beckham.
Maybe they start smoking together or something.
That's why Pat's doing so bad. He's getting secondhand smoke all the time through Gordon. It's coming
Between
fucking
Gordon
pouring
and
out of his car when he pours out.
I don't like him either.
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I have him blocked on every social media platform. But
I'm sure he's trying to reach out to you all the time. You have to block him.
He wants on the show. Is him and Juju as hungry for the camera as those two are.
Let's move on to the final game here. Matt Carter versus Tyler Sadowski here. This is a good game. Both for 115.9 to 114 LB or Joe. I don't care which one started off.
So I always liked Tyler's team, but looking at it now, Aaron Rodgers not playing. I don't know who his backup is. Nobody.
He has no backup yet.
He has to find a quarterback. Najee will be fine. Taylor should be fine. Diggs should be fine. DJ Moore, As much as I like him, he's kind of slumped the past couple of weeks. But if McCaffrey comes back, I think that helps DJ Moore quite a bit. Darren Waller has been disappointing, but he's playing the Giants. Crowder is a non-factor. On the other side, Kirk Cousins, he's another anti-vaxxer. He's a jack off, but he's doing pretty well this season. Aaron Jones, I think with Rodgers being gone, that's going to boost Aaron Jones quite a bit. And then you guys might talk about Peterson all you want, but the new starting running back of the Tennessee Titans is McNichols. They like him. He's a pass catcher. I think he's going to be the one to really break out. That's a steal for Carter. Thielen is fine. Cooks is decent, I guess. I don't know if Tyrod's back yet or what's going on with his situation.
Right.
Jared Cook. Emmanuel Sanders. I had such high hopes for Emmanuel Sanders last week, and he had a goose. He got goosed.
He didn't have a catch.
Nothing. But I don't know, Jacksonville, maybe he gets back. It's unfortunate. Looking at Carter's backups, Ridley not playing, Brady not playing, Fournette not playing, Connor on the bench. I'm interested about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would start Connor over that McNichols guy because Connor may not
absolutely
get a ton
not.
of yards, but
I would-
he's the modern day Marion Barber. He steals touchdowns off of Chase Edmonds constantly.
Yeah, he does.
I think
He
I'd
is
put him in for
legitimately the
Emmanuel
modern
Sanders.
day Marion Barber.
Yeah, Matt's missing a lot this week on buys. Like LB said, Brady, Fournette,
There's
Ridley.
a lot of power sitting on the bench on
Ridley
buys.
just sitting out, focusing on himself. I think the wide receiver positions here are very similar. I think they cancel out each other. I think Kirk Cousins is better than whoever Tyler picks up this week.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I give the quarterback to Matt. I think Aaron Jones can cancel out one of the running backs, but the other one will blow out the other one. So that's an advantage +1 for Tyler. And then, like I said, Thielen and Diggs, I think similar. Brandon Cooks and DJ Moore are very similar. Waller, you like to see him to get it going soon. Maybe the bye week and him missing a few weeks gets him back into it or something. I don't know. And the flex position, they're both kind of question marks there. You don't know what you're going to get. Sanders could go off for 15, 20. So could Crowder, but then they both could get 2 points. I think this one's going to be close. Tyler throws in a quarterback. He's going to be projected at least 130, right?
At least.
With a quarterback in there. I don't think he gets 130. Yeah, I mean, you had 15 is 130, 135. Yeah. I'm going to take Tyler with the win. I just think the running backs are they're a lot better than Matt's. So I'm going to take Tyler this week. But I think this one could be close.
I think Tyler. I think Carter takes it. I think his running backs are going to be the reason why. McNichols had 16 points in week 4 with 1 carry. He had like 8 receptions. He's a pass catching running back that goes a long way in this league. Aaron Jones, pass catching running back without the quarterback, with Jordan Love starting, Aaron Jones is going to see a bump. Without Henry, McNichols is going to see a bump. Cousins is better, like you said. Cousins is better than whoever Tyler's going to put in.
Right.
So I'm going to take Carter. Who's Chicago's linebacker? Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Hope he kills Harris.
Go ahead, Joe.
I am going to take Tyler, and I don't think it's going to be close because I feel the opposite. I feel with Jordan Love playing that Aaron Jones is going to they're going to stack 8 in the box. They're going to dare Jordan Love to beat them down the field, and I don't think he'll accomplish it. So I think Aaron Jones goes the opposite way. I think his numbers go down because he doesn't have Rodgers and that fear of the deep ball to Adams, Scantling. So I definitely like Harris and Taylor better than Jones and McNichols. I like Diggs better than I like Thielen. I like Moore better than I like Brandon Cooks, even though Brandon Cooks might there's a chance Brandon Cooks could outscore him because they're going to lose by so much most weeks. Waller, I like more than Cook. Sanders and Crowder, I mean, I would say 99% of the time I would like Sanders better, but coming off a goose egg, I think Tyler takes it with ease.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got on the pick'ems. That's what we got for the preview. I mean, pick'ems. Tyler is in first with 3, but you know, Carter and LB are only 3 games back. Germs 4 games or 6 games back actually.
It's a whole week of one right and one wrong.
5 games back. Yeah, there's a lot of room that got to be made up. There's 3 teams that are really starting to separate themselves in the pick'em. So, but I think anything can change on that week to week. But anything else you guys got for this week?
The next time you see Aaron Rodgers start a football game, he'll be in a Broncos jersey.
Why?
Jordan Love, Tom Brady's this motherfucker. Shows him why he got drafted, why they traded up. He balls out. Rodgers is on the bench. He gets traded to the Broncos for next season because the Broncos got a bunch more picks for Von Miller, so they're going to trade his rights to Green Bay to get my man Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
That is a hell of a Paul Sham take there.
That is the most ridiculous take I've ever heard.
I don't think he's going to go to
Absolutely no
Denver.
chance that happens.
There's no chance that a drafted quarterback can come in and take over for an injured quarterback.
They're not taking over for the reigning MVP who has COVID. He didn't break a bone. If he was going to be out for weeks, I'd say, okay, maybe that's a possibility.
How do you know he's
the guy's
not?
going to be out for a week?
How do you know he's not?
Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to practice. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back Saturday when he's allowed to.
He could miss 2 games.
It could be
He's
10
not.
days.
He's going to miss
It
one.
could be 2 games.
It could be 2 though. Like I mean, it's not like
If he actually gets sick, loses 10 pounds, who's he? You know, I don't know when their bye week is or what they. You know, this could be. It could turn into something.
It could.
I don't think it's probable, but it would be a hell of a story that Jordan Love comes in and everyone's worried about Aaron Rodgers and making him happy. And here Jordan Love is with his head down doing work, and he takes over.
Next week, though, power rankings. We're going to get the power rankings going.
Okay.
So we'll factor in injuries and where everyone's at and all that. Up to this point of the season, we're not going to predict future of what we think's going to happen. Up to this point, power rankings. Maybe a little bit of what we think will happen in the future, but power rankings are next week. Joe, thanks for joining. LB, thanks for always coming on. That's all we got. Keep the chat bumping. Thursday night game tomorrow, Jets and I have no idea.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find Michael Carter to see who he's playing. Indy, Jets and the Colts.
Jets, Indy. So a lot of good guys tomorrow. Keep an eye on that one. We will see you guys next week. All right, thanks, guys.
Noodles.